Today we will discuss about UML. UML stands for Unified Modeling Language. When we discuss about the language, it's all about the communication. Specifically in the context of UML, it allows us to communicate structure, behavior and interaction. The main reference URL of UML is the uml.org. Generally, UML diagrams are classified into structure, behavioral diagrams and interaction diagrams. In today's course, we will mainly focus on class diagrams. If we go to the official website like uml.org, there you can see what type of diagrams are available for each section. So now if you see the class diagram, it mainly represents the object-oriented classes with fields, methods and relationships. The class diagram mainly focuses on object-oriented classes with fields, methods and relationships. And furthermore, when we represent the diagram, generally we may have a frame or not. The frame is not a mandatory field if we consider like class diagram. The shorthand notation is nothing but CD. If you want, we can make C as capital, where C indicates class and D indicates diagram. We can name the diagram name. And the frame is optional. Here we can represent our class diagram. It consisting of 3 sessions. I'm just giving a rough sketch of class diagram. I'll explain it further. Or we can consider another example, like if we see the sequence diagram, I'm representing as SD and it's nothing but diagram 2. Just for understanding, I'm highlighting this. Now I'm just keeping it in a frame. This is not mandatory, this is our wish if we want to give the frame or not for any diagram. And suppose if we have like 2 objects, object 1 and similarly object 2, so for understanding purpose, just I'm taking these 2 objects. So it has some series of steps. suppose like some other request is coming, like suppose like request one, and we will get the request one, and we will get the same response for that after calling a particular this is one sequence. Like let us assume like suppose this request one, again it is calling the object2 method, and we will get some response from object2. And similarly we will get this response one from the object one. For the callee method, so here this rectangle is optional, it is not mandatory. If we need, either we can represent with this rectangle or the frame or without frame, that is our wish, while we represent the UML diagrams. Both are valid. This is also valid, and this is also valid. So now we will discuss about the class diagram basic concepts. Like class diagram, it generally, as we discussed, it represents the fields, methods and relationships. It is represented with a rectangle with 3 sections. So the first section represents the class name, and the second section represents the fields, and third section represents the methods or functions. Here fields we can call it as attributes, and here the third section we can call it as methods or operations. So for the class name, generally it represents the name of the class. Nothing but it's generally always it will be written in a bold. And if the class is abstract, Then class name is generally written in the italics. For abstract class, we represent it in the italics font. These are the main concepts which we need to remember while writing the class name. While coming to the attributes, attributes generally represents the fields or properties of class diagram. Here we will express the attributes as the visibility and name of the attribute and type of the attribute. I'm just giving the syntax. I will explain with an example, and if there is any default value, we will mention the default value. If you want to specify the modifier, it's optional. So here the visibility speaks about it is nothing but the syntax for representing the attribute. Here the visibility represents either public, like access modifiers, like symbol we can specify, like plus we use for public, minus we use for private, and this tilde operator we use for package, and hash we use for protected. These are the main symbols which we use for fields. The same symbols can be used for operations or methods also. The visibility. While coming to the name of the attribute, it's nothing but type of attribute, like whatever the name is represents nothing but the value, variable name, or any specific name. We can now generally tell as name of the field. And while coming to the type, like it represents the data type. Such as integer, float, string, or any other class. Integer, string, comma, class, etc. And default value specifies some particular string constant value, or constant value you can mention it as. And modifier is an optional modifier to give additional information on the attribute, such as it is a read only or write, like that. It is mostly an optional attribute. While coming to the operations, we have the same syntax, like another syntax for operations. While coming to the syntax, we have visibility and a name and type. Sorry, after the name we need to have the parameter list. Since it is a function, we will pass some values and the return type. For constructor, syntax will just slightly vary by adding the constructor given and all. We will discuss it later. So as we mentioned, like visibility is nothing but the public, private, protected or package, and here name indicates the name of the operation, like method name. And while coming to the parameter list, it is a comma separated values with size of 0 or more in the form of parameter name and parameter type. Okay, for the parameter list, like comma separated values. List of 0 or more parameters in form. They all should be in the form of parameter name and parameter type. Here parameter type is nothing but similarly like what we have discussed for the type, like it can be string, integer or any other class. And the return type will be such as the same type of the attribute, such as like integer, string or class or any other. While coming to the static elements, we may have the static fields also. For static elements, we will generally use underline. These are represented with the underline. On class diagram, like if the field is or attribute is static, then we should highlight it with the underline. This you need to remember. Now let us consider one example for the class diagram. Like we can simply consider a simple hello world example. With simple class. So here what I am considering is the name of the class will be hello world, and I'll just print one. I will assign one variable and I'll just print the variable in the particular method. I'll define one method. So as we discussed, we will have 3 sessions for our class diagram, and in these 3 sessions I'll just use the name of the class as hello world. After that it should be in the bold. I'm just making it bold. For understanding, I'm just highlighting it. I'll just create one instance variable. So as we discussed the rules for class diagram, class name should be name of the class and it should be bold. Since it is not an abstract class, I am not making it italics. While coming to the attributes, this syntax I need to follow. I'm just making an instance variable of the type private, so I'll use the minus symbol, and the name I'm giving as some message, and the type I'll take it as a string, and I'll assign one default value to it like hello world. So for this I'm just making it as private, and after that I'm naming it as message. The variable name I'm making it as message, and the type I'm considering it as a string, and I'm just assigning a value of hello world. So I'll create one operator similarly how I created for attribute. Here I'm creating a method, so I'm just keeping it as a public so anyone can call this method, and after that plus, and I'm just naming it as a print hello, and I'm just passing no parameters to it, so I'll pass an empty parameter list, and the return type I don't need to return anything, just it is printing, so I just pass it as a void. So here I'll declare a method with print hello, and passing an empty parameter list, and type will be void. So this would be our example. If you need, we'll create one sample Java program. I'll just create a new project, and on the desktop I'm creating a new folder, UML_demo, and naming it as UML demo. I just need a sample Java project, so that's the reason I will just create. In the UML demo, I'll just in the source folder I'll create one. I'll remove this main, and I'll create one package com.uml.demo, and I'll create one class name nothing but hello world. So in the diagram, as we discussed, we need to have one instance variable, sorry, due to some glitch. I'll just open in a Sublime Text because there is issue with my IDE. So I'll create one instance variable here with the name private string, and I'm assigning it value with hello world, and I'm creating one method called with the public modifier. The return type is void, and name of the method is print hello. Here inside this method we can define anything, but I'm just printing the message system.out.println. So if you consider this two, like the name of the class is hello world, and the message is of type private, and the type is nothing but string, and I have assigned with the default value hello world. And in the print hello, the return type is void, and the access modifier is public with the plus sign, and I'm just printing inside the method body. We are not writing anything in our class diagram. I hope this is fine. Please let me know anything in the comment section. Thank you. We will continue the relationships in the next tutorial.